Bobby Fischer was just 14 years old when he played the masterpiece, and in only 35 moves, he left his opponent with no hope. Let's see a teenager dismantle a master. The game just starts with one e4, followed by c5, which is a Sicilian defense. White play the move knight f3 and e6, followed by d3, which is the favorite opening for Bobby Fischer, right? Black play the move knight c6, a natural developing move, and g3. It's a kind of kingside setup, right? And knight f6 was played, bishop g2, bishop e7, castles, right? And knight bd2 was played to control the c4 square. Knight c3 can be played, but knight d2 was played to control the c4 square and to place the knight to c4, right? Black continue with rook b8. It seems a pretty good move, but it is a loss of tempo. The rook on b file not only supports the b7 pawn, it does nothing, right? It's simply a waste move for black. Then white play the move rook e1, which controls the semi-open file, and in future the white can play e5, which attacks the f6, right? Black continue with d6, which just control the e5 square, right? White play this move c3, which prepares d4 to support the d4 square. White play the move c3, right? Black play b6 to support c5. The c5 is already supported, but uh, it also played to just develop the bishop on a6 or b7, right? Then d4. Anyhow, the central attack is going to come, right? d4 was played and queen c7 followed by e5, which attacks the d6 and f6, right? Knight d5 was played. It seems a great move, right? But the black centralizes his knight. There can also be some options for white to play c4. It looks a kind of trap of the knight, but knight b4 was there is an idea, and the knight can even jump to d3 to attack the e1 and c1, right? So further complications are going to happen. The 14 years Bobby Fischer play the move e takes d6 to just solve the complications, right? And bishop takes d6. Here white plays the move knight e4. It's kind of a great move or a good move, right? Which attacks d6, and it also centralizes his knight, right? Then black play the move c4. It's kind of a bad move, right? Because it just only control the d3, nothing else it does, right? It just allows the exchange knight takes d6, right? The white have a great bishop pair advantage after this trade, so it is going to happen, right? Knight d6 and queen d6, the exchange took place. Then knight g5 was played just to attack the h7 pawn, right? H7 was somewhat kind of weak. Then the queen h5 possibility is also there to come, right? Black play the move knight c e7 just to come, then knight to g6 to support the king, right? White play the move queen c2, which attacks the h7 pawn. The black does not just do the blunder by playing h6 and queen h7 mate, right? Black play the move knight g6 and followed by h4. It's like a dangerous attack, right? It's going to come on the king side. Knight f6, and after this move black seems like it's a solid move, but the engine shows like it's a +2 for white, right? And here comes the beautiful and brilliant move. Can you spot it? Yeah, it's kind of a sacrifice of the knight. Knight takes h7. Yeah, it's a brilliant move. Black play the move knight x7, right? Knight h7. Here white play the move h5, which just attacks the g6 knight, right? If knight e7 was played, then bishop f4 would be a great move, just attacks the d6 queen and d8 rook. So further complications are going to happen. Black play the move knight h4, just giving the knight. Instead of just taking the knight, white also play the move bishop f4. It's like a intermediate move. Queen d8 and g takes h4. White just take the knight, right? Rook b7. Instead of just giving up the rook on b8, just black protects the rook by playing rook b7. If bishop b7 and bishop b7, it's just like uh, exchange down, right? So white play the move h6. White is going for the king, right? Queen takes queen takes h4, and just the g6 pawn, sorry, g7 pawn is fall down, and king takes g7. And here comes the good move, right? Rook e4, which attacks the queen, right? It's not directly attacked, and it is going to be attacked when the bishop to e5 check is going to come, right? Queen h5 and rook e3. The rook can come to g3 and h3 also, right? f5 was played, and it is not the great move, and it's one of the blender, right? Rook h3, which attacks the h5 queen, and queen e8 was played. And there is two variation here, right? If you see, like, the game was continued with bishop e7, but just we can see the another line, which is bishop h6 and king g8 and bishop f8 and queen f8, bishop b7 and bishop b7. We know that after this position the two rooks are with white, and there is a king and queen for the white, and there is an open king for black, which is not a safe, and the knight and bishop are inactive pieces. Like, it's kind of a mess for black, but white have a great advantage and a great position, right? It's just a +6, so Bobby would win this position, right? So coming back to the game, Bobby played the move bishop e5, alright. Knight f6 was played, and queen d2, just to bring the queen to h h6 or g5, right? The g5 also seems good, but h6 also going to come early, right? Black play the move king f7, queen g5 was game. Anyhow, the black king is going to be hunted. Queen e7, here comes the move bishop f6, queen f6 and rook h7. It's kind of a good move or a great move. King e8 and queen f6, right? If rook f6 was played, just if we play the move rook f6 and bishop b7 going to be played, bishop b7 and rook b7, right? It's completely a rook up, right? If rook takes h7 was played, then bishop c6, yeah, it's over, right? If bishop d7 was played and queen e6, king d8 and queen d6, right? So if rook f7, then bishop d7, right? It's just a completely winning for white. Rook d7, then queen f8, so it's simply winning. It's just simply a queen up, right? So coming back to our game, after the move rook takes h7, white play the move bishop c6, which is a check, and after this move the black resigns, right? So in this game we have so many takeaways. So let's see what are the takeaways we can take from this game and improve our chess game, right? So let's see the first takeaway, right? The first takeaway would be great to hear, right? The first takeaway is the sacrifice. The knight takes h7 was a great sacrifice, right? If you did not dare to take a sacrifice, then you can improve the game, right? The sacrifice is so important in the game. The second thing would be attack. You just attack the black's king, right? Like in this game, like playing h5, h4, right? This is the uh, good game I have seen. The white has not fear to attack, right? The second would be the attack takeaway. The third would be use all your pieces, right? White uses his pieces like the h pawn and brings his bishop to f4, and uses his rook to play rook e4. So his a1 rook alone not participate in the game, but almost all the pieces are participated in the game. Black do not participate his f8 rook and b7 rook and c8 bishop. So this is the lagging in this game for black. Right? The fourth takeaway would be king safety, right? You may think that after knight takes h7, the king safety of black is gone. But for white, the king on g1 does not move anywhere, right? The f2, right? The f2, g3, and h4 pawns are just blockade for white king and gives safety for his king, right? So then the fifth takeaway would be the tactics. So you want to solve the puzzles to know the tactics and the double attacks on the pinning concepts like bishop f4, the pin between queen and rook. So you want to solve this puzzle, then you want to know the tactics like playing that rook to e4, which is a great move, and these are the tactics used in this game. So these are the 5 takeaways in right. So this is Checkmate City. Subscribe Checkmate City for more videos, and if you like it, give me a motivation, right? So if you want to see the openings, there is the videos uploaded, you can see it, right? For further videos you can comment and I will post the videos. So thank you for watching, just subscribe, and goodbye GMs.